This Celtics team, I think it's time. I think it's time to accept you're done. Like, they're still going to be tough because of how they play defense.
Well, what you don't realize is actually they have 9 new players from this year as opposed to last year. They're not actually as old this year. They're actually way younger.
Oh, yeah.
With Fab Melo, Sullinger. They have the kid who's Bradley.
They got Avery
Bradley.
Bradley. That's why they
Rondo,
let Ray Allen
Young.
go, because of Avery Bradley.
Yeah. They got a young Rondo. They've got young guys. And that, I think, is the difference. And I heard it. I'm not going to take credit for this comment because I heard it last night during the game. But I think it rings true. The Celtics teams of the last few years, they looked at it and they said, oh, well, whatever, regular season, let's get through it and let's get to the playoffs. We'll flip the switch. Because that's what we do. We flip the switch. Well, they had a bunch of veteran guys. And they even ended, what was it, 2 seasons ago or 3? No, their last time they went to the finals, I thought it was, where they finished the season 27-27 over their last 54 games.
Probably.
It was I think it was either 2010 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But they ended the season 27-27 and then went on to the NBA Finals. That's not this team. This team, though, has taken that mentality, and they took that mentality from the guys that are already there, guys like KG and Paul Pierce. Not necessarily the best thing to be instilling in young players is a sense of, oh, well, I'll just wait to the playoffs and turn it on. Because if you don't get to the playoffs, and right now the Celtics are 2 games under 500, it looks ugly.
They don't look very good. They don't.
So to me, I think that's the biggest difference is you have these young guys who are expecting to flip the switch, but they've never been in that situation before. And you have these older guys who are saying, well, I'm doing what I can, but again, I'm not going to exhaust myself knowing the playoffs are coming up. So I think it's a mix and match of the both. I think it's just a young Celtic team you're seeing. I think they're going to get better in the next couple of years. Even if they happen to lose KG, even if Paul Pierce only is there another 3 years, I bet you they can turn into something.
Do they ever trade Pierce, or do they give him the respect and let him retire as Celtic?
I think
this
they give him.
Man went through 9 years of 20 and 25 win seasons. Like, he was the only reason they won games over the beginning of his career.
I think they let Paul Pierce stay.
Ride
it out. But again, it can't turn into a situation where he wants to be 40 years old and still playing.
Yeah, like sooner or later they gotta be like, dude, no disrespect.
So it's got to be a combination of him knowing when to just sail off into the sunset, and the Celtics actually saying, "Oh, okay, well, all right,
we'll give you this year, but after this year,
I look at it as almost." You got to know when your time's up, and for the Celtics, they should almost treat it in a way that the Yankees treated a guy like Paul O'Neill. They looked at Paul O'Neill, and I don't know if you know this story, but
I know who he is. I don't know the story.
His contract was going to be coming up. He was towards the end of his career. He went to Steinbrenner's office, said, listen, I'd like to play another year, George. George says, no, you're going to play for 2. Gave him a 2-year contract. He was only asking for 1. Steinbrenner gave him 2.
I like you.
But that was the loyalty that Steinbrenner had, and I think that's the loyalty you'll end up seeing. A team like the Celtics who are that way. They are basketball.
Tradition.
They're almost basketball royalty.
They are. Well, them and the Lakers own 32 of the, 50 NBA championships or 48 NBA championships,
yeah, so that's what I'm saying is that they're going to look at it and say, listen, we're going to let you do it the right way.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing to me, because to me, Paul Pierce's number is going up in the rafters. I truly believe that. Do I think Paul Pierce is one of the greatest players ever? No, but I think Paul Pierce has put so much time and effort, helped bring a championship to Boston, that whole, the whole thing. I think that man's number is going to get put up there in the rafters in Boston. I don't know how quickly whenever he'll make the Basketball Hall of Fame, but when it comes down to being in Boston Celtics fans' eyes, what he is, His numbers going up in those rafters. He's going to be that kind of guy. And I do agree. I completely agree with you. It has to be the right combination of, hey, Paul, we love you and we appreciate everything you've done, but we're not keeping you on our roster until you're 40 years old. We're willing to keep you till you're 37. We got that respect for you. We want you to retire a Celtic, but you got to understand sooner or later that you're no longer helping the team. You're just a guy taking minutes away from young guys that we want to develop and make better. Me personally, I look at this Boston team, and in my opinion, I'm not worried about them because I think of last year. Last year, they were pretty much a 500 team. I think they were actually a few games below 500 when the All-Star break got here. They had the best record in the NBA following the All-Star break. They pushed Miami to 7 games and fall just that short of making another NBA Finals appearance. Like you said, this team has the ability to sort of just flip a switch. And I will say, flipping a switch in basketball, I think, is a lot easier than flipping a switch in, like, football or certain other sports where it's like you can take some time off and then everybody was talking about the Giants this year in football, saying, well, are they going to flip that switch and go on the run they went on, last year and in 2007? Or can they? And certain guys can, but it's a lot harder to get 49 guys to flip a switch on than it is to get 11. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier for a coach to communicate to 11 guys than it is for him to communicate to 49. You know what I mean? So I look at this team, and to me, my judgment on them being done, I think you got to let them have this year. I really do. I think you let Allen go, okay. Not mad at you for it. It's not like he's doing that much in Miami. But I think you give KG and Pierce this year. And then after this year, maybe you look at seeing if you can get some value for KG, because I think KG could still give some solid minutes to a contending team. I really do.
I just think they need to give the team they have a little time to grow. They're not the same defensive team they've been the last few years either, because of the guys they've let go, because of the young guys they've brought in. You can't just step into the NBA, and especially the guys they got, aren't guys that are just stepping in and being superstars automatically.
Yeah, so especially Solinger and Mayo.
They need time to grow. They need time to play some defense. They need time to learn the game, learn the NBA game a little bit. And that will come with time. And they will play better defense. But they're young right now.